Hello, everybody. Today I'm trying to help my brother-in-law. He stays in France. Now, what he done? He went and bought a BMW X3. Now it's a F25 model, and he bought it in Berlin. Now he drove it back to his home in France. But in order for him to get the equivalent of an MOT that we would call it here in Britain, that in France they have to be able to plug in the scan tool, and it must be to check the monitors or the emissions or something like that. I'm not really sure, but they have to get access to the OBD2 port. But anyway, his problem is when he got home and he took it to the testing station, they cannot find the OBD, the DLC connector. Now, what he was telling me was in Germany, there is a problem with thieves stealing these cars, and they can gain access to the security features and things like that through the DLC. The DLC means Diagnostic Link Connector. So that's why they hide it. So his problem is he cannot get the car MOT'd and put it on the road until they find the Diagnostic Link Connector. So I've came up with a few ideas, maybe one or two ideas for him in order to find it. So this website is fantastic, called newtis.info. So you enter into that. Now it's the X series, so it's the F25. Then you scroll down. See, so it's F25. His is a 2-litre petrol, and I don't think it'll make any difference if it's X drive or S. Well, let's just go into here. That'll be it there. So you go into wiring diagrams and functional description. Now I know on this model that the DLC is connected straight to the central gateway module. So you go into body. So we go into central gateway module, and then you go into that one there, and then there's the wiring diagram there. So you see along up here at the top, that says diagnostic socket. So you can see how this works. Let me see. Everything goes through, from the DLC, everything goes through the central gateway module. That's A51. So see, it's got these Ethernet connections. That's part of the DLC as well. So here's my thought process on this, the easiest way to locate this. So if we go into X6, which is the diagnostic socket, see, and then it gives you its location. So we know it's meant to be there, but it's not. So we come out of that. We go back a page, and then we're going to a functional description. So lots of good information here, by the way. It tells you about where the terminating resistor is. The terminating resistor is just seemingly behind that at pins 6 and 14. And this car that he has got flex ray on it. So there's all the stuff there. So we then go, where was that? You go back again, and then you go into the wiring diagram. This is what I want. So you can see that. Let's see, come along here. That's the wiring for the diagnostic socket. So let's look here. So everything on these pins, 14, 6, 11, 3, 13, 12 and 9, 8, they all go to the central gateway module. But I thought here was my idea. We have pin 16, as everybody knows, is permanent positive. That's a permanent supply. And pins 4 and 5 are both grounds on the DLC. So one's your, 4's your chassis ground, another one's your signal ground. Anyway, my idea was that if he finds this fuse in the junction box up here, so it's fuse 3, and that's a 30F, so that's a permanent supply. It goes to 16, the DLC. I'll take to the junction box. So installation location. So there you see it there. So it's on the passenger side. That's where the yellow dot is. So fuse 3 must be the third one down here. There it's there. We'll make that a bit bigger. There we go. Fuse 3's right there. And let's go back again. Sorry about for all this moving about, but it's good to show you this program. So my idea is that he puts one of these, takes out this fuse 3, the 5 amp, and puts in a wire tracker. Like one of these devices, I've got one in my toolkit, and it sends out a radio frequency. I'm sure it's like from this bit here, and you then trace the wire. So to me that would be the best way forward for him in order to see where that from fuse 3, where the wire's going to, it splits off. I'll show you this. This is how good this thing is. So let's see. Well, I can tell you that fuse goes from, let me see, it must be in here. Oh, there we go, wiring diagram, fuse 3. So it comes for that. Well, that's no fuse 3. I'll tell you where fuse 3 is. There's fuse 3 in that control box. So it splits. Half it goes to the central gateway module, or 12 volts gets sent, and then the other 12 volts goes to the diagnostic socket. So as he's tracking that fuse along using these wire trackers, he'll know that that'll go into the the central gateway module, which is under the steering column. Let me see, I'll show you this, and then it'll go to the DLC as well. Installation location. There you go. So the central gateway is underneath the steering wheel, and you can see it's got 3 connector blocks. But you don't worry about that. This other feed must be round about there. So that's my solution for to try and find the DLC. If anybody else has got any other ideas, or if you know where they're normally stuck, where they're hidden about the DLC, it'd be much appreciated. So I'll tell you how he gets on with that. G